Hello everyone, welcome in today to the Coach KJ Carousel Dynasty. Today we're going to do our off season. We're going to get the answers on who stays, who goes, and how this team's going to look heading in next year, which is a critical year for Coach KJ. He had things really go sideways for him last year. The 9-4 final record's really not acceptable. We should have been in 12-team playoff. We had a good enough team. Hopefully we can improve upon that and fix that issue so that way it doesn't happen again. Coach KJ, if he doesn't make the playoffs, honestly, the board's been pretty honest with him at UF that it might be time to move on after that. So there's a lot of pressure on Coach KJ this year. He's going to have to work hard to keep as many players as he can. Unfortunately, you've seen as we're looking around the nation a little bit, some underclassmen have already decided to declare for the NFL draft, which kind of sucks a little bit for him, but he still has a chance to build an excellent team for next year, and maybe he can be active in the portal. Maybe we'll build that way this season. I'm not sure. We'll have to see what we do as we get into it. But we've already noticed Quantel Johnson declared. I kind of forgot to include a banner I'd made, I guess is the best way to call it, to show that he declared early, which is why we were rotating him in our bowl game. I realized after the fact I forgot to do that. I already had it created. I just forgot to add it in there. But he decided to declare for the NFL draft. We've seen David Hester decide to declare early for the NFL draft. You just seen Keenwan Haas decide to declare early for the NFL draft. And then safety Tyler Hayes, which was a shock to me, decided he wanted to go pro as well. I honestly didn't think he was ready, but there is nothing I can do about it. He went pro. So hopefully he has a good pro career. We're going to go through our team. We're going to show off all the players in our team that we have leaving, who's transferring, all that good stuff. I just wanted to go through, show off the rest of the nation as I was just talking, so that way I didn't miss anything. As you can see, Tyler Hayes declared for the NFL draft. He had a solid season, 58 tackles, 2 picks, 2 sacks. I didn't expect that was good enough to go pro, though, so he's probably a mid-round pick. Keenwan Haas, on the other hand, he could be a first-round pick. He came here as a JUCO, and he's fantastic. Quantel's probably more of a mid-round pick, even with his 1,100-yard season to end his career. He was quite good for us. We're going to miss him. David Hester, he'll be lucky to get drafted, honestly. He's going to be a late-round pick. I don't know why he declared, but it is what it is. As you can see, kicker Brendan Vale decided to transfer to Oklahoma. We also had left outside linebacker Ramon Balalu decide to transfer to Baylor. Brent Terrell, a backup D tackle, went to Miami. Cleishon Russell went to Houston. Aaron Smith decided to go to Oklahoma State. Tyree Adams, I don't blame him. He transferred away, went to West Virginia. Then we also had Drew Williams, our backup halfback, decide to transfer to Oregon State. Kai Weiser decided to transfer to Georgia Tech. That's going to be a miss. We're going to miss him a little bit. We also had Traven Elliott and Daniel Cooper decide to transfer away to West Virginia. And then now we're looking at the seniors. We lost Chris McClellan. He was such a beast for us. We also lost Caleb Kirbyson, and Kyle Hinder's going to be somebody we miss. Fullback Anthony Alexander never did much. Brendan Redwine was basically just a backup. He wasn't very important to our team. But that's everybody that we lost. So now let's look and see who wants to transfer in. We have Troy Apu, a strong safety out of Florida Atlantic. We're going to allow him to come to the team. Why not? What's the worst that happens? We end up cutting him later. He's a 69 freshman. Let's see what we can do with him. Next up is going to be recruiting, and we really only have one player on the board, and that's Jordan Linton, a 69 overall quarterback. He's the number 1 quarterback in the nation. He's a bust, though. I'm not sure he's going to be a good fit, but we're going to try to get him anyway. He's a 69 overall. Like I said, big time bust, but it's between us and Vanderbilt, so let's go ahead and see if we can get him. We're going to offer all of our points to him that we have. Worst case scenario, he's a quarterback that ends up transferring away, but hey, he's pedigree and he'll help boost our class, so why not bring him in? And we ended up getting him. That was our 5-star prospect. So now let's go ahead and look at who we got. We got Jordan Linton, Antonio Coleman, and Jonathan McNamara at quarterback. We got Manziel, Jackson, and Murphy at halfback. Cody Palomalu is going to be a starter. Jensen Skalski, I do expect to make a little bit of an impact as a true freshman. He's a really good player. At center, we got 5 players. The problem is the best one's a 72 overall. So there's a whole lot of questions there. We have a lot of youth. We'll probably end up losing a lot of people to transfers. It's kind of like D tackle, but we did get Blake Listenby, and he's an important player at an 86 overall. He's probably going to be an impact player from day one for us. Other than that, that's pretty much all we got for our recruiting class this year. We ended up having a good class. As you look at top classes, we came in at number 4 with 1 5-star, which was Linton, 8 4-stars, 12 3-stars, and 3 2-stars, and that's 24 players, but I'm surprised we're that high. I honestly didn't think we deserved to be that high on the board, especially since our 4-stars are kind of low, and we have a lot of 3-stars on our team, but I'm happy with that. Next up, we're going to look at the roster improvements as we go to training results. Garcia goes up 3, Ramsey goes up 3, Earl Brown the second lost 2, which is disappointing, and Antoine went up 5. He got +2 speed, which is quite impressive. And now we're just scrolling through. The big thing is throw power. That's what we're looking to see improved here. We have Ramsey getting +3 and Antoine getting +1. I was really disappointed not to see Dana Garcia's arm get a little bit stronger. That's something that I think held him back and could hold him back in the future. Hopefully he gets better there. At halfback, Guyassi Blanks goes up by 3, and Ladarius Marlowe goes up by 2. Of course, we don't have a fullback, but we have breaking news that's incredibly sad. Wide receiver Breland Brown tore his Achilles tendon, and he's going to be done for the season. And that's pretty disappointing. He's an important player that you just can't lose. It's really disappointing to lose him. We had high expectations for him. As you're going to see here, he got a -2, and now you have to question if he'll be able to come back and continue to develop at the same rate that he was. However, Logan Houston did go up by 4. Jaden Norwood went up by 8. That kid was awesome. I didn't think he was that good, though. So we're really happy about that one. Macario Dorba improved even with his season-ending injury. But, that ball carrier vision and route running and spectacular catch that have dropped here and jumping even for Breland Brown's going to be pretty disheartening. And, that's going to hurt his career. As it is what it is. He's going to be redshirted this season, and we'll see if he's able to come back next year as a sophomore redshirt and make the impact that he made before. And hopefully that Achilles heals up and he's healthy and he doesn't lose any more athleticism and become a worse player, because that kid was awesome as a freshman. It's just disappointing to see him drop like that. It is what it is, though. JJ White went up by 3. Norkeithius Moore's up to a 90 at a +6. Stuart McCaffrey went up 5 to a 91. That's super impressive. Nathan Osborne's up to an 82 overall. I had higher expectations for him when we brought him in, but he didn't develop well. Looking at middle linebacker, Lohman and Stepp both went up by 2. Jared Wells went up by 3 at outside linebacker. He's now an 85 overall. At corner, Akeel Wesley went up 3. Noah Anibagnom went up by 5. Zach Poydras didn't develop this year, which is quite disappointing. However, we got some more development from depth pieces, so we'll have to see how that works out for us. Max Pierre went up by 5. He's a 96 overall as a sophomore. He's a beast. Now, Tony Apu, who we got as a transfer, is a 74 overall, and he's currently our best strong safety, so he may be starting for us later this year, which is kind of surprising and disappointing all at once. As we look at roster cuts, we have to cut 6 players, and I always try not to over-recruit. Unfortunately, this year I did because I was pushing for so many centers and D tackles, so we have some tough decisions to make. Colin Lee's going to be cut, and that sucks, but so is Devin at middle linebacker. At D tackle, Mike Graham's going to end up getting cut as well. Unfortunately, it's a decision we had to make, so we're down to 2. Tyrone Williamson as a JUCO junior is going to have to go. And then at quarterback, this one's disappointing, but Jonathan McNamara has to go. I really didn't want to get rid of him, but we didn't have another choice. So that was our roster cuts, and now we're into the new season. The first thing we're going to do is show off our schedule here. I think we have a pretty interesting schedule this year. We open up against Ole Miss, then we play Oregon State and Drew Williams, then we'll play Tennessee, Kentucky, LSU, Vanderbilt, Auburn, Georgia. Indiana is another game that we're going to play this year. Just an interesting, different opponent that's still a Power 5 opponent. South Carolina, Alabama, and Florida State to finish up our season. We have a pretty tough schedule, in my opinion. Maybe the teams aren't ranked as high as you would think, but it's going to be tough, in my opinion. So now we're going to look at red shirts as we scroll through. Honestly, the quarterback position, I think I'm going to let work out how it works out. Breland Brown's going to get his red shirt, of course, because of his season-ending injury. He had 59 catches, 778 yards. That's a lot of production to replace, especially when you factor in we lost David Hester as well at receiver, so that's pretty disappointing, but, we have to adjust. Jaden Norwood developed well, and he was really good last year when he was on the field, so I think he's a player that's going to become a star for us. He has that potential, and I can't wait to see him show it off, hopefully. And honestly, at the other positions, I didn't do a whole lot of red shirts. I'd prefer to let them play out how they play out. So now let's take a look at our Heisman standings to begin the year. Matt Hayes is at the top, followed by Montrell Atwell, Ryan Cleveland of Baylor, Kevin Stewart of USF, and then it's Tyler Foster rounding out your top 5 Heisman candidates. Honestly, this year, I don't know if we're going to have a candidate. I was kind of thinking maybe Breland Brown could do it. If Quantel Johnson came back, maybe he could do it at quarterback. I don't know. I'm still thinking I'm going to lean towards Dana Garcia and give him a chance to start this year. I'm just not 100% sure there. It's probably his show, though, to begin the season. I do like Khalif Ramsey, and I think he's a really good player, but I think last year you look at that bowl game performance against West Virginia that Dana Garcia had, and that just sticks in my mind. So at the end of the day, I think he's probably going to be the starter to begin the year. It's a tough decision, though. It could be a messy at quarterback again this year if things start to go sideways. We can't have a season like we had last year. We have to be in that 12-team playoff. And honestly, at this point, I almost feel like we have to win a game in the 12-team playoff to keep our job. We need to succeed at this dynasty. Like I said, College Football 25 is coming out soon. I cannot wait for it. but I don't want to leave this dynasty without a title, and I think we have a really, really good team. Not a great team, though. That's the problem. I thought we had a better team last year with Quantel Johnson at running back, and, I don't think our quarterbacks developed that much to make a big difference. Caleb Kirbyson at center, we lost. On defense, Chris McClellan was awesome. However, I think Blake Listenby, the top recruit we brought in, is going to be really good at D-tackle. And Stuart McCaffrey did develop well. We also lost Kewan Haas, though, and he was fantastic. We had 3 corners that were like 85 plus. They were all awesome. That's disappointing, and I do think we're a little weaker at safety, so we'll have to see what happens and how everything plays out, but I'm excited to get this season going. This video is going to come out probably after our daughter's born, so I don't know what kind of layoff there's going to be before I get into this Ole Miss game. We are the better team, and I haven't started playing this season as of when I'm recording this, so I don't know what happens going forward. I really hope that everybody enjoys the Breland Brown storyline, and that, I guess not enjoys it, you're going to be disappointed by it, but I hope everybody understands the Breland Brown storyline, and we can have a great season going forward. I'm LDJ11. I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be back with more Coach KJ soon. I'm out.
We're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink, cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars, crashing in my car, wake up in a bar, I'll be a superstar.